Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the absolute lacklusterest live stream on the internet that there has ever been in all of time for the longest time. In the immortal words of Billy Joel. What's up, Philip? How are you? Hopefully all's well. It's that time again. I'm surprised I can't see my breath in here, to be honest. Cold and snowing, yeah, we've been having some of that as well. Eric Quinn, what up, man? Dad in the house. Nice. We'll talk about a couple new releases on the truck side and the air side today. Yeah. Honey Chuck, what up? 13 last night. Degrees? That's not crazy unless you're somewhere it's not supposed to be that way. It sounds like a lot of places that are not used to the cold are seeing the cold. Welcome to the Terror Dome. I need to get my slippers, man. This sunroom gets cold fast. Philip's been working on RCs all day, needs a break. I know that feeling. I started a new print project we'll talk about. 19 in South Carolina. That's crazy for there, isn't it? I'm kind of excited about this new one I'm started. Like I have any business starting a new one. But I figure if I start a new one, maybe I won't buy one. I cannot find my gear to use the good camera. I've been looking, and I've been working a lot of overtime, so I haven't had any extra time. But yeah, so we're still on the garbage camera. But that's all right. I don't have anything to get down on the sticks, down on the bench with, really. So a few of you saw that lackluster video I put out last night. Thanks so much. I felt compelled to do it. So I did it. And now looking back, I'm like, I could have done that video. It's like 16 minutes or something. I could have done it in 5. So that's the way my mind's working right now. 3D printer soon, says Honey Chuck. New computer, need 3 bodies. Yeah, man. It's awesome. There's a lot of people talking a bunch of mess about Bamboo right now. If you follow any of that, it's not a big deal. If you use the Bamboo software anyway, it's not really a big deal at all. They're talking about 2-factor authentication if you're using other companies' slicers. It's really no big deal. Every other company, speaking of chargers, most other companies want you to use their stuff too. So it's not crazy. What printer are you getting, Honey Chuck? Yeah, dude, for sure. I like them, and until it's a problem for me, there's no way I'm not changing. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, it's cool, man. I didn't do it either until my Kelly exposed me, dude. And then I was like, hey, this is cool. And then solving the problems it took to make the thing fit, you start thinking about, hey, I can make that what I need, maybe, you know? Yeah, it's not a big deal. If you're new at it anyway, like I am, and you are going to use their software, I don't think it's a problem. I'm printing a vehicle right now that sometimes when I drag the files directly in, they're not quite right. So I'm dragging it into the Tinkercad software and exporting it from there into the Bamboo software. And then I'm good. So I think there's always a workaround, you know. But what I'm printing, I'll tell you, is a Unimog. I found a file that's made for the TRX4, which I have a couple. One I don't want to mess with, and one that's I don't mind messing with at all. My 2021 Traxxas Bronco is bone stock, and so I don't mind messing with it at all because I haven't done anything to it really. I did have different tires on it, but even those are stock again for now. They won't stay stock. I think I'm going to put those tires that come off the Jimny on this Unimog if they fit. They're old school military looking tires. If you remember, they're actually the same tires that's on that Jeep Willys, except they're black instead of green. No big deal. So yeah, this Unimog is made to fit on a TRX4 chassis. So I was like, you know what? And I didn't know what else to do with that TRX4. It was either going to be sell it or figure out something that I want to make that has portal axles. Not that I'm a rivet counter, but I'm a rivet estimator. So I don't have to know exactly, but I want to be close, you know? So the Unimog, it makes sense on portal axles. So I think that's a good choice for this TRX4. So I've been printing off bits here and there, and going to continue doing that and assemble those pieces. I may even show you guys the manual this guy provides for the build. It's really good. It makes it seem really legit. I mean, tells me what screws, how many, what size, all that. I think that's kind of neat. Thanks, Ann. Yeah, that was just a battery charger. But, you know, I run into folks that ask those kinds of questions. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to make this video because I think, oh, cool, that's the gas tank. Part of the Unimog. Yeah, I thought that could be helpful. I think from talking to so many folks like I have, it becomes evident to me sometimes where, you know, the cool stuff with RC, people learn it, but there's the brass tacks of it that folks don't seem to understand sometimes. And so I think it's easy to be overwhelmed with the amount of things that the technology can do for us in regards to a lot of things, but the battery charger in particular. And so I think explaining what a guy like me who's been at it since 2008 has a slight understanding of it. I think explaining what it is to look for when you're checking out your batteries rather than being overwhelmed by the magnitude of what it can do was, I hope, a good idea. And going over the per cell voltage, because I think that matters more than an overall. And it also helps keep you focused in on, I think what really matters is the balance of the cells. The overall voltage doesn't tell you if your cells are healthy the same way as thinking about it per cell, right? So, and per cell applies to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6S, whatever, however many S battery it is, that approach will apply. And then the anomaly that happens sometimes, not very often, but I've seen it where a battery will, and I said it, a battery will absolutely balance just fine. And for whatever reason, you still suffer a really short runtime, and you're like, why? I don't know why. So why not take the course of least action and look at the battery's health, especially if you have a charger that can do it. So that internal resistance, I didn't go into what that is a lot, but how to look at it. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's internal resistance. And so a battery should have low numbers. And even if the numbers are creeping up there and they're starting to get high or close to double digits, at least with this equipment, you can see if it's balanced. So what the real concern is, if you have one that's crazy high and then the other two are okay or whatever, then that's bad. And that would explain why you're suffering on runtime, whether it's a plane or vehicle. So that's why I wanted to do that. And then I think it happens too, where folks don't know that those batteries are set up for auto discharge. So if I charge up for Saturday morning run, and these batteries that I've got recently default to 72 hours auto discharge, they auto discharge down to storage charge, which means if you run that battery, it's already time to stop. So yeah, you're once again, another way that you could see a short run time. So I don't know. Hopefully that's the kind of thing that will be valuable for longer than just the flash in the pan new release of it all. And I think that's the kind of stuff I'm going to try to do a little bit. Because, dude, this channel, I've had it a long time. Used to make a little, and I need it to. So I think it makes sense to just think about giving that kind of value. And just like I said, who wants to buy batteries? Nobody. So if you can keep the ones you have in good check, I'm glad to help, because it's way cooler to open up a new RC than it is to be buying batteries because you didn't know what they were doing. Right? What'd you guys think about the thumbnail? Did you guys notice that? It doesn't really look like me. I played with AI for an hour, having it do thumbnails for me, telling it things, telling it what to do, you know. And you got to try to explain how you look to the cheater. I mean, it's a cheater too if I use Photoshop, right? I should be using mats and cutting boards. Hey, it's just for a thumbnail. I told it to make a lackluster thumbnail. Yeah. Dude, it's hilarious what I told it to come up with what I came up with. And I had a lot of different tries. But basically hipster lumberjack came into the mix trying to tell it what to do. Both of which I'm neither one, but so what? I don't care. Otherwise, it's the same bullshit thumbnail. It would always be like sitting here in what looks like a trailer, you know. So I hope that does all right. I feel like doing it again, shorter, and I could not edit the light correct. It blew out the screen if I lit it up enough to see the charger. So I was like, man, Redneck Hick, I'll try that one next time. Yeah. Oh man. It is hard to film those screens, yeah. But it can be done. And you know, I really aim to be short about it. And I mean, the video was 30 minutes and I made it 16. But really trying to have a pretty clear focus of it when I do it. So you're back in the swing of that, maybe. There's no end to those kinds of videos that could be helpful, you know. I think even binding and calibration, I think it's easier on airplanes than it is the vehicles. Like, I think that would be something. And there's stuff out there, you know. But I think if you make it concise, it's got a chance to live and perform for a long time. Even that boring ass video I just did has good watch time retention. So, new releases a little bit. Let's talk about them. The three that are in my mind right now, and then we'll get to them as, yeah, man. They call it evergreen because it just never quits going, Philip, that stuff. And I, before I even learned the lingo, I knew it because for the whole 5 years I was making videos somewhere else, one video and videos like it seem to always perform better than the plain videos themselves. And it was when Mike and I did like a tutorial. One was on, he did Dr. Expo or whatever with a DX6i at the time, talking about setting up Expo. And even though the channel was essentially dead, that video always had engagement, always. And stuff like that, like the lessons, always had some kind of engagement. And I mean, that kind of is the name of the game. And I have to pivot, I think, if I don't have, you know, the new stuff to do. And it's fine. I pick what I want to do when I want to do it. That would be cool, and I'm sure it's doable too. People are doing stuff like that. There's tanks for sale that smoke. Yeah. What's up, Richard? So, 3 of the releases I'm thinking about from this week that we could talk about. One is the the iX14 SE came out. I'd like to get one of those just to know how to work it. They update a little differently, and I'm not familiar with that Google Play Store stuff, and I'd like to be. The 124 scale old school Bronco from Axial was released, and the H10 Origin kit was released. You know how when you go to a website and the thing is not available yet and the price is like $999,999 or whatever? Well, if you go to the Vanquish website, and I'll show you guys here in a minute, and you look at the H10 Origin kit, you'll feel the same vibe. But that $999 gazillion dollars is not a placeholder like it is on a new item that's unreleased. It's really $3,500. Yeah. And that's a chunk. How nice must it be to be priced at that? It's machined everything, isn't it? And we'll take a look at it. We'll look at it here today. We'll go to the site and get through the pictures and that kind of thing. Philip, yes, that's true. And I'll be completely honest. The small stuff doesn't do it for me at all. And mostly it's because I just want it to last, man. And I just don't have the same feeling about it as I do the bigger stuff. But you know what? They are doing some great stuff at FMS. I think they're all over the place a little bit. So I always am waiting to see. But I did a video on one of their little monster trucks, and it was fine. But I just don't care, you know? And that's me, you know? No one's paying me to do it. So I'm not doing it unless I want to these days, which is awesome. But yeah, I would like to take a better look at those. I like short course. I think that's a neat size. And if they're reliable, then awesome. I have so much stuff though that's similar. I kind of like to stay in that range at this point. It better come with everything, even thread locker, and it's a kit, right? So I don't know. Do you get the power system? But at $3,500, no one's worried about that, you know, too much. We're going to spend $3,500 and be worried about the extra 2 bills, whatever you're going to spend on the power system altogether. Radio, motor, whatever, speed control if necessary. Yeah, Philip, I like it that it's an early Bronco, and I think we'll take a look at it. I haven't really seen it other than noticed its release, but I think that's what there is to talk about, honestly, is the iX14, which is going to be just like the other iX14 with some minimal changes. And seriously, Honey Chuck, if I had one, that's what would go in it. Probably a hobby wing or a stubby or whatever it needs. I'd love to have that kit. But that's bonkers. for me to do, you know. But I'll be watching to see what everybody does with theirs, and to I'm not surprised it's sold out. Vanquish has quite a following, you know, and I think it's something to take notice of. You don't have to sell as many if you're getting premium dollar, and you can get premium dollar if it's absolute premium kit. So yeah, I mean, I've been jonesing for the H10 Optic kit, but this H10 Origin, holy smokes! We'll take a look at it here in a minute. And to me, that's the most exciting release this week for me, and I think this room. So yeah. Last Thursday, what did we do? Anything? There you go, Bill. Seriously, I get into the equipment for that kind of money, you know. I think that stuff's all machined. Like one block or something. I don't know. There's been some neat media on it. That's true, Philip. That's true. My thing on the little stuff is how upgradable does it have to be? You know, because if you're a company selling it, one of the nice things about some of the little stuff is the fact that there are no parts. Yeah, but if you're selling it and supporting it, that little stuff, man, I'm saying there used to be a little 28 scale team associated thing, and I don't think you could buy any parts for it, or very, very few. And you just bought another one, you know? I don't know. I'd rather be able to fix something. I like this size a lot. Nice. I mean, you want every bit to be available, but 6x6, it's long enough to do it. Yeah, it's long enough to do it. This Unimog thing I'm doing has the potential to be a 6x6. And I did not buy the bed file because I may just make it. The bed on this Unimog I'm doing. I'll show you guys that too. I don't have much done but little bits and pieces, but we can look at it on the website. I'd like to learn how to weld for multiple reasons. My phone knows that I would like to learn how to weld too, because I get my content. I see welds all the time, all day, if I'm on my phone. And I'm only on my phone at night, but maybe lunch a little bit. TRX4 chassis, there you go. The chassis it's made, my 2021 has a slightly longer wheelbase than it's made for, but I know a guy. And another reason why I think making my own bed's a good idea. there was another Unimog kit that had not only body mounts and stuff for a TRX4, but they offered axial Vanquish and Traxxas body mounts. And I almost went for that file just to get those mounts, but it's fine. I was like, I have axial, I can find Vanquish, and now because of this file, I have I'll have Traxxas. So that's cool. Yeah, I like 10th scale. And ish is fine. You know, some of these are 7th, 8th. You know, they're not all really what it's cut out to be because of the size of them in real life or whatnot. Buy 3 what, Eric, to get free shipping? The little things? What am I buying 3 of? Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that says it's 10 scale, but it's just close. I don't know if I have anything that's truly 10 scale. When I've done the math, it's not been that generally. And I get why they do it. You know, like the Suzuki Jimny that they call 1/6 scale. It's got the wheelbase of a 10th scale. You know, well, in real life, it's really small. But I'm okay with that because it's about all the same. You know, almost 13 or stretching it to 13-inch wheelbase for a lot of what I'm been up to. Yeah. Well, and again, it boils down to the vehicle. Like a Bronco in real life is smallish wheelbase. And this thing's closer to 1/7, I think, when you do the math. Somewhere between 1/7 and 1/8. And it's a 10 scale crawler. So yeah, it's the one thing that they actually do kind of standardize, and it's for their own sake, not aesthetic. Big Jim, what is up, man? So I'm gonna pull up this file that I'm doing. I may just pull up the manual. Actually, it's pretty good. Let me try that. Hold on a minute, man. Yeah, let me shrink it. All right. Here we go. So let's go ahead and open it. Yeah, this is cool. So, look at any finished pictures. Maybe I'll start backwards. So this is it. Unimog TRX4. And this is the crazy awesome like build guide that comes with it. And we're starting from the back page, but you can see it's calling out the screws. It's showing me what is what in regards to what it's going to look like. It looks pretty good to me. And I've been wanting to do one. Me and my dad's buddy has a real one. And it's dope. So I thought I'd do one. Just clicking through the pics. But yeah, I dig it. And I've never done one of these that actually had directions like this. And the doors open if you want them to, the full interior, which I think is killer. And it's going to be a lot to do, but it tells you really well what you're doing. So I'm pretty pumped about that. Door cards, that'll be useful for other projects. Seats, that'll be useful. Some options, it looks like, different ways to go. Recommendations. The steering wheel actually moves if you want it to as well. But there's a lot of bits here. Window frames. But it's a good looking kit. You know? And it's kind of neat that there's the steering wheel assembly stuff. And it's kind of neat that it really does appear to all screw together. I have not read through it word for word, but you know, screws on every page are listed. So that's cool. I've printed off a lot of the early bits. I'm following in order. So this is about where I'm at here, you know, getting ready to print body parts and fenders, but I've got like bumpers and some of the mounts done. But look how detailed these instructions are. I mean, awesome. So I'm doing one. Okay, let's get rid of that. Lots of details. I missed all the comments for a minute. Oh man, Jim. What's up, Kenny? What up, man? If I missed you, sorry, anybody. Yeah, I've been wanting to do a Unimog, and you know, depending on how this goes, I could make it big. You know? But what's going to be crazy if I scale it up is all of a sudden the screws, the holes for the screws are going to also get big too. Not the end of the world. But I think anything is. But again, just like I said, Big Jim. So this is a 10 scale for TRX4, which I have. that I wouldn't do anything with. So I've already started printing off the parts for that Unimog. And different guy than I usually get files from. But I'm going to build the 10 scale one first, and then anything that I've done 10 scale or have the files to already, I can easily do the work to make it fit for a big one or a little one. I'm not doing little ones, but, and again, to scale it up, the holes are that are predetermined for bits like, this is, if you're gluing the thing together, it really doesn't matter at all. But this kit that's built with screws, the holes will get bigger if I scale it up to a 6 scale. Likewise, they get smaller if you scale down. But all things in modeling are possible if you're willing to make it happen, is the way I feel about it. So, yeah, man. Yeah. And so that one didn't show a bed, but the preparations are there. So I make my own bed out of, if I'm going to 3D print off a bed that looks like wood and metal, then I'll just make it out of wood and metal, is what I think. Why not, man? Why not? Even if it's wood and 3D printed angle irons or something that you can make look like metal or whatever, that adds to me a super cool dimension to it. Fred, what up, dude? How many of those Optics Origin H10 kits are you going to get, bro? It's only $3,500. We're going to look at that in a minute. Dude, I wish I did have 100 gazillion subs just so I get that truck. Holy smokes, man. Thing looks killer. But yeah, so you can imagine with all the pieces that you saw on that Unimog, how many files there are. But they're pretty well organized, and I'm going in order. I've got a box of bits already started, actually. And a handful of new ones here. There's the bumper. And this cutout in the bumper and the front clip, I think it's for a hand crank or something. Gas can looking tanks, bumper mounts. So what's cool that this is made for a Traxxas means that all of the bumper mounts I can repurpose. CVO Hobo, I'm betting it is worth $3,500. And we're going to look at it. But I love this little detail, man. This guy did a good job on this kit, I feel. But I'm just keep printing these bits off and stacking them up. Unimog parts. Dave, we're going to look at it, bro. We're going to look at it because Vanquish is solid stuff. Listen, I don't think it's for everybody. And Bill made it sound like it was sold out already. You'd have to think it's a limited run just to see how it goes, Bro, I want affiliate commission on 35 hundo. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather just have the kit. Let's look at it. Let's find it. Let's look at it. Would you just look at it? People are excited about it. And one reason why I think people are getting so excited about it is because there was a kit a while back that it was called the Ripper. And this thing is like the Ripper 2, basically, from what it seems like. And the Ripper was before my time. But that's what I've gathered. Let's check this out. Machined right here. Cool. So you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Built with precision. Look at this. Fits the show perfectly on your information. What do you mean? That kit belongs on this show? Is that what you're saying? I mean, look at this. Oh my word. It looks like a carbon fiber top. I think the body is aluminum. It's all machined, and those body panels are metal, from what I understand. In my limited knowledge of it. But you know, I think it makes sense to even check out the you know, the Vanquish YouTube channel, and of course Harley and Scale Builders Guild and stuff. But the Vanquish had a live. Look how that's packed in the box, bro. The Vanquish had a live talking about it. Oh yeah, let's watch this. I'm into it, you know, and if you wreck it though, it'll take it. So I mean, imagine the H10 Optic, but just done as tight and as nice as possible. Look how beefy those axles are. I mean, this thing's built to be thrashed. That's all metal stuff. But like for me, I'll do an H10 Optic kit. You know what I'm saying? Hydro looking steering up front. Yeah, just like the H10 Optic. And they call this the H10 Origin. So there's a lot of some of their original inspiration, I think, is made it into some of the aesthetic elements of this. Badass is right. Straight axle. That's cool. Looks like there's a little tiny torque twist. I just got to see the rest of this again. I saw this video last night. It's just interesting, and I think it's really cool to see what can be done and how premium this is and the demand there is for it is fairly magical, you know, to be able to offer something this nice, more than a one-off custom, you know. Yeah, it's not going to be for a lot of people. It's not going to be for a lot of people that are already crawler people. This is definitely fantastic as a benchmark on the timeline of innovation. Dude, come on, how nice. All right, let's do this. $34.99. Yeah, I mean, that is basically stock, you know, and you're able to, it looks like, pick, you know, some of the things color wise. Looks like you get the bead locks. Maybe you don't. Cage work is supreme. It's not gonna, it's gonna be straight. It's milled. You know what I mean? This is machined. It's not for everybody. It's okay. Yeah, dude, $3,500 is none of my real vehicles cost that. But I think it's absolutely neat. And it's pretty good looking. But yeah, like for me, I'm in a different echelon, you know. So the H10 Optic kit under $500 is more my style. But this thing I appreciate for all its looks and design, and performance. You just already know. Made in the USA, dudes. Fred's getting one of each color. Aluminum H10 axle. Sick. Exactly, Philip. Pretty neat. I it's really neat to me to see this. Aluminum body panels. Nice looking wheels. Oh, cool. I love it, man. USA stuff. Veterans. Not my typical kind of thing, but is that bump stops or latches? What is that? Yeah, yeah, it is. You can see them there. Yep, bump stops. Those are cool. A lot of the scale aficionados prefer straight axle. I wouldn't be surprised to see people putting portals on here, or them making some for it. And there's more on this website. Then I'm scrolling. There's some stuff off to the side, it looks like. But man, it looks good. And yeah, it's kind of buggy style, you know. I don't really have anything like that. I just make my scale stuff built for performance. But this, same with H10, you know, they're buggy styles. Buggy may not be the right word, but they're purpose built, right? I mean, it's obviously for rock crawling, not mall crawling. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. So, you know, I think something like this, you're going to see really tight tolerances. Everything is metal, and that's pretty neat. I'm saying good job on this. It's in a way weirdly inspiring, right? Where, man, I don't have the, even if I had this kind of money, I don't know if I could do it. You know what I mean? Or if I would do it. Sometimes that's what makes you want it more, though. But I just, it's not wise, you know. For me, I have a family. So yeah, I think okay. So $3,500, right? Let's look at the H10 Optic and bring it back home a little bit. Let's bring it back home. Okay. This is a little bit more. There's a few different paint scheme versions of this. And for me, and they both are called H10, so you're going to see a lot of similarities. But this one's $500, bro. The RTR with everything. So they have a H10 Optic kit, and then they've got the RTR ready to go right now. If you're not a kit builder, you can get these at Horizon and use your points. They have these H10s on the site there, I'm pretty sure. We can check if anybody's interested. But yeah, you can see the similarities. And can you guys still? Yes, good. This is more my speed. You know, I want to still be able to experience the vibe, the feel that I want, but you know, not get divorced. So that's cool. For most of us, this is absolutely plenty. And there's a handful of different schemes on this. So I think that's really fantastic. And these are also straight axle. I think that's good. I like that. But these are plastic ones, not crazy metal. You get that same cool front end. It's an axle mounted servo, and that helps make room for the all the interior, because room gets tight on something like this. And here you see the bump stops, and they're plastic instead of metal. But if you had something like this, you could upgrade this to have some of those other bits that you might like. The little bit of bling, get the metal bump stops or whatnot. But this is a killer. I mean, this did really good for them as well. I like it, And this is the RTR. And there's 3D printed interiors where you can have the guys move and all that stuff too, if you wanted to. And this is the RTR package. It's really decent, honestly, for RTR. I was thinking they'd show, I think maybe it is just 2 schemes. It's the kit that has even more. Hold on. H10 Optic kit. All right, here we go. So the kit, you can see, has a handful of different liveries. And the kit, I mean, honestly, it's $110 less than the RTR. I like building them, though. So if you like building them and you don't mind saving a little, then there you go. But of course, you're going to have to outfit it with the servo and the power system. Not the end of the world. But yeah, a few different liveries on the kit. I like it. I like it. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, there you go, Fred. Fred's got 4 Wraiths already. All right. Let's go ahead and look at the little Bronco. I want to see it. And yeah, if you are into the H10 optics, whether it's a kit or RTR, they are at Horizon. If you want to keep on with, I know a lot of you guys have points and things like that. So something to think about. Let's do one more of these share the screen business. So yeah, I wanted to confirm. Yeah, same money, same kits. They're available also. at Horizon, whether it's the RTR or the kit, just in case you were interested. Let's look at the new Bronco. All kinds of deals going on. Is this what it was? Come on, open. Okay. It's vintage styled, but it's still a new one. Okay. Cool. IX14. Yep. That's what's up. That's what's happening. Sunday. What did I do last week? The stencils? Was I making the stencils last week? I think I was. Well, then let me show you the vehicle because I fixed it. They're done. Well, basically, they're done. I say they, plural. It's not plural. Nice. Do you, Fred? Yeah. Lexus being Toyota makes the future even more exciting. I like old Chevy and Ford trucks in real life, but I haven't really done any. Bro, everything's a Jeep. I mean, I got the Bronco, you know what I mean? But I got a handful of Toyotas and Jeeps, bro. I do, don't I? Couple internationals. But bro, I've got just right here four Toyotas, 5 Jeeps, 1 international, and 1 Ford. There's another international on the floor, and there's a Suzuki over here. And a couple Land Rovers. I finally made those light lenses in the middle. I designed them up myself and made what I needed there. I'm really proud about those diffusers there on the front. Dude, look at the dirt on the axles. Airbrushed. I got it. I think I got it. I think we did it. Look at the windshield. I think we got her, dudes. The rims, the wheels have some patina action. A little rust and dust. Bro, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Dad'll be happy. This is Dad's. I'm gonna figure out how to never get it to him. Yeah, I'm super proud of that. I really am. I am. I've got this dude mounted now too, which is awesome that I can pick it up by the body. I'm happy that this dude is ready for the weather, man. I got a little dirt on the axle there too. Just playing with the airbrush a little. I'm gonna come up with something here still. I need some kind of text or graphic of some type. I think some license plates and my mirrors and windshield wipers are gonna help dial it in. But I'm super excited about this one too. How many Jimny chassis are we looking at? I'll tell you. Now, this one came on that chassis, but we added leaf springs to it, so it's basically a Jimny chassis. Same with this one. Comes that way. I did the leaf spring mod. It's basically a Jimny chassis. That is a Jimny chassis. Leaf sprung, axle flip. That's a Jimny chassis. The Suzuki over there, Jimny. That's what that is. And then the Winnebago is a Jimny chassis. That's a leaf sprung RC 4-wheel drive kit build, FJ55. Thanks, y'all. Yeah, I'm into it. And I think my buddy's Unimog, I'm going to get my buddy to send some pictures. You need to have yourself driving that. Oh, inside. Yeah, I need to figure out how to make myself. Another AI deal. You guys saw that thumbnail on the video I put out last night. Check out that video, dudes, if you want to see how to mess with your smart charger, how to set the auto discharge on your battery. You can turn it off, or you can extend the time interval for when the batteries auto discharge themselves down to storage. Yeah, a nice fleet. I've got a Traxxas Land Rover in the garage. The Suzuki's over there. The 6 scales on the floor. The Land Rover's on the floor. And the International Red Cat purple is over here. Yeah, so man, kit built base camp. Stripping it down and making a Jimny work on this might as well be a kit build. Kit build. Kit build. The white Vanquish FJ45 is a kit build. The yellow truck and the Michigan, not kit builds, but added the leaf springs. So modified with leaf springs, kit built, basically bone stock on the Bronco still, brushed motor and all. Bone stock Willys Jeep. And then this is what started it all. Kelly printed off these parts, gave them to me in a bag, and I put it together and solved the problems to make this base camp chassis fit on there like this. Tucked. I mean, it is, you can't set it any lower. Super proud of this, but this started it all, man. This guy here. And This is the same Land Rover that Kelly and Kirk have scaled up to fit on their 6-scale rigs. And it's a good looking 3D print, really. And this really got me going. It got me really thinking about the 3D printers too. And I'm glad to have buddies like that that get me inspired and stuff. Yeah, it's just like Army, nothing like this was Tractor Supply rattle can is what that is right here. But yeah, this was the first base camp kit I built. And it went on here. And then we did the Willys wagon on the base camp. So this one, I did my shock mod. It's all tight, as low as it can be. And the Willys, just because of the way it is, the ride height is way different. The geometry is different. It drives and feels different, even though it's the exact same stuff. And it's all about how you set it up. But I think this truck needs a video. And, you know, an old Land Rover should be leaf sprung. But me and Kelly, we built these this way, basically. And they're really performers, man. Lumberjack Ryan. Yeah. Hipster Lumberjack. That's what I had to type into the AI to try to get close to me. And then I was like, with a little more gray in the beard, dude's like 45 years old. I didn't want to say 50 because I didn't want the AI to make me look too old. But yeah, this is Boom Racing bumpers. I did order some Boom Racing stuff, Boom Racing bumpers and mud flaps. But I had to engineer how to mount all these because it was not its own thing. Boom Racing, you know, really scale smaller tires. So they're 1.9 rims, but they're on like 3.98 wheels instead of 4.75 like most 10 scale crawlers come with. And I use a lot of 4.19 now too. Now that's another interesting thing, right? So the old part covered. Oh, yeah. So 1.9 rims, 3.98 size wheels. And these are 1.9 rims with the big 4.75 tires, more typical what comes on an RTR. And these are 1.9 rims with the 4.19 size tires. So it depends on what you're building. The 4.75 just be too big on this. The 4.75 would be too big on this. On the LC80, the 4.75 is fine. On this beauty, the 4.75s are fine. These are 4.19s as well, a little bit smaller than something like that's a Patagonia. It's huge. .75 Patagonia. It's a big tire. And that's a 4.19 Patagonia, but the rims are the same size. Pretty stiff. This is a leaf springer too. Been a lot of thanks, Dad. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, and I think the Unimog is going to look fantastic. My buddy Jeff, my dad's buddy Jeff, his Unimog is like black and gray, black mostly, like a flat black, and that's probably what I'll do. Something like that. Yeah, Trimmer's truck is awesome. I want to make another one. Actually, I do. I thought about even making a huge one, but man, I got that big travel all 6-scale body. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, making it. I can't really paint it right now. So it's like, I don't know. I thought the Unimog would be cool because it's just the body and some mounts, and then I'll make the bed myself. So, but that's going on. I got the chassis stripped down, not stripped down, but off the body. This is the Traxxas TRX4 that's going to be the Unimog. And I'm not quite exactly sure what all I have to take off yet. But these aren't bad. And this was the 2021 Bronco. So, I mean, nice kit. It's not a kit, but it's a nice truck. But it's like one of my only trucks for the most part that's still just really bare bones. And when buy a $25 file, make a new truck, or spend $3,500 and get a Origin. It's easy. So I bought $25 file instead. Yeah, I don't really have anything I'd like to get. There's part of me that I think I would sell my purple International Red Cat. I think that's it. The Bronco I just showed you? No, that's the Traxxas TRX4 2021 Bronco. And that's why I'm taking the body off and putting a Unimog on it. Yeah, dude, departure angle on the Unimog is going to be fantastic. And it's sitting up on portals. The Traxxas crawler is not bad at all. The TRX4 is good. I'm surprised Traxxas hasn't come out with a straight axle 10 scale though. But the Unimog makes sense being on portals. So, dude, here's what's funny. The only portal axle trucks in this whole mess is the Traxxas Bronco I just showed you, the Traxxas Land Rover in the garage, and that International purple Red Cat. The Phoenix is portal. Yep. The Phoenix's portal. And it was before they had released the straight axle kit. So yeah, this was the first kit I ever built right here. And the first paint job I did on Lexan as well. Yeah, BFG mud terrains. Yeah, man. Yep, this is the first kit I built. And this has a pretty fancy transmission. It's got a dig and 2 different overdrives. That's it. My best performing crawlers are the CJ7, the way I dropped it, and put brass in the front 2 tires, and this Vanquish. Yes, the base camp kit is on sale again. Normally, what, $269, $279? Now it's $229 at Horizon. You want to build a straight axle kit? Get you a base camp. I like those a lot. I like those a lot. I've built 2 now. Yeah. And they're on dope stuff, dude. The Land Rover's base camp and the Pack Rat, bro. The Bronco's your choice. The early Bronco, bro, or the new 2021. So that axial 10.3 straight axle, CJ7 10.3 straight axle. What's nice about those 10.3s is that the motor and transmission's out of the way forward where you can maintain the interior better on the Bronco and the CJ7 219. Even better. The base camp, the transmission and motors in a different spot. So you got to do what you got to do to make it work on the interior. If you're doing Lexan bodies, it doesn't matter though. And if you're doing other bodies, you can make it work. $219 for the base camp kit. It's pretty good. And the book is really right on. Like I said, I built 2. And the book is perfect. Really good. Easy to do. So I suppose officially 1, 2, 3, 4 crawler built kits have I done. The Vanquish, RC 4-wheel drive, and 2 base camps. Yeah. And a lot of the other stuff way apart. I would sell that purple red cat though, dude. It's got a ton of brass on it, and it's got a Spectrum brushless power system in it. I'm just not going to drive it. It's got some pretty nice Desert Lizard internal spring shocks on it. Yeah, Spectrum power system. A bunch of brass. It's good. It's portals. It's the first crawler I ever messed with. Didn't keep it. It's the first one I didn't leave alone. Might as well pull it up. It's cool. I mean, it performs well. I got the brass, dude, and a good power system. This thing does great. You see the brass. It's that black trio brass. So the diff cover, the portals, those outer, axle bits, the link mounts, and that's front and rear. It's all brassed out. Light kit. Yeah, it's done up. Flexologist. It does great. It's not I just don't use it. Brian Chambers, yeah, that purple one's got lights on it. So the axial came with lights. It's got lights. I didn't put lights in this kit. Mashgun comes with lights. CJ7 comes with lights. I added lights to this. This comes with lights. That came with lights. Added lights to the Vanquish. FMS FJ40 comes with lights. This one's got light lenses and all that, but I didn't run lights. I didn't put lights in this one. That's got lights, the Pack Rat, and so does the Land Rover. So a lot of them have it. A lot of them do. FC Jeep's forward control. Very much cab over like the Unimog. Nice. Yeah, that Unimog's neat. It does sit kind of high, but it's okay. Nice, Philip. At FMS, Fred? Or fair? I'm telling you, I got to get, I really want to get this one wrapped up because I have the build process where I strip down a Jimny and work it out filmed. And then I just want to, if you're going to sit down and watch, let me ask you something. I already know the answer. What is it at FMS though? Just look real quick. So if you're going to watch the Travelall video and it's me taking the Jimny and stripping it down and starting to outfit it and, work through some of that and talk about it, don't you want to see it run too? Yes or no? You want to see it run or no? Because it doesn't make sense. I think it doesn't make sense to make 2 videos of it. You know what I'm saying? Let me look at FMS real quick. I'm just curious. But I still think that Jimny, especially because it used to be $350, $229 at FMS. So you can save $34 getting it at Fair RC. That's cool. Do it, because it's if you want a leaf sprung straight axle crawler to mess with without spending a ton of money, dude, 196 at Fair RC or 229. So you can click the link. Why would you? It's $35, you know, but those things aren't selling. And that's why it's 350 down to 229, 196. Bro, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many Jimny bodies have I done? 1, 3, 4. 4 Jimneys. 5, 6 if you count the Mashkin and the FJ, but 4 Jimneys, bro, that I've bought to have the leaf sprung kits. One of them is the Golden Nugget, so it actually kept the body. But I jacked it up and flipped the axles and all that stuff. Dude, the Jimny leaf sprung chassis, best scale builder's guilt. The best kept secret in scale building a truck. Without a doubt. Dude, I've got enough of these Jimny bodies laying around now that I'm like, next time I build a crawler on a Jimny, I'm just going to reuse the interior because it already bolts right up. I don't have to invent anything. Like the floor of one of those, Fred, bro, the floor of the Jimny, cut it out and install it in my new 3D printed whatever, done. Because it will bolt right to the chassis. Hello. Why wouldn't you? And I mean, even these by themselves, on the internet, if you get looking on YouTube, there's guys that have done all kinds of stuff with these bodies where they've actually done coilovers to these and given them some ride height and got rid of those military wheels. But this interior is fantastic. Steerable steering wheel, you know, nice, what feels like it's not cloth, it's rubber, but they're, you know, squishy seats. Super nice floor, dash, and then look at it. It bolts right to the, of course it bolts right to the Jimny chassis because this is what it is. So I'm thinking I've got 3 of these. I legit will take everything off except the floor and use it. Oh, like the surprise gift that FMS sends you? Is that what you're talking about? These come with lights too that can be repurposed. And I have repurposed stuff off those. It's almost a shame. It's such a good looking body, but I don't want to opened up Jeep. It's not even a Jeep, it's a Suzuki. Anyway, that's a good price, man. A vehicle that was $350, and if you want to make yourself a scaler, the one nice thing about the leaf spring trucks is you're able to keep the interior of your vehicles without having to cut them up, because that FMS stuff, the motor and transmission is in the right spot to maintain most of your interiors. It was a great choice for the Travelall and the Trimmers truck. I need another one, Fred. You stinker. Dang it. At that price, just to have around until I'm ready for it. It is cool. Because eventually, when those are gone, they're gone. They've blown them out 3 or 4 times at that price. And compared to their new crawlers, their new crawlers are very much like a TRX4. I mean, that LC80 Toyota is very much like a TRX4. And that's not a bad thing at all. But some of their early vehicles were different. The Mashkin FJ40, the Suzuki, it's sharing the same stuff. But now their LC80 and their Chevy K5 and stuff like that is a lot more like a TRX4. Fred's got a video of the Pro version brushless portal axle LC80 on his channel. Post that link up, dude. Oh, nice, Fred. Man, we have been on for a minute. We'll go here in a little bit, guys. Thursday, one more day of the week, weekend time. Last Saturday, I missed going out. And this Saturday, I'm not going to miss going out. And I think we'll still have snow on the ground. So SCX6 all the way for me. I've got mine put back together so I can run it as a Wrangler. So you've seen my SCX6 with the body off, figuring out the fitment of the big dog Travelall. Nothing more has really happened on this since I got it filled and sanded. This is huge, and it's going to look fantastic. I printed it because I could, and I had it. But Kelly and Kirk's big 6-scale versions of these look so good. I may want one of those too. But I got my big dog ready to go. Back together. My big dog's ready to go back together. So I had to put the inner fenders back on and bumpers and stuff. But this dude's ready to go. Last time I had it out, I broke the original mirror's gone. So I made one. 3D printed one. It's not even the same, but that's what's up. So I'm ready to go Saturday. Huge, man. Huge. There you go. Jeff put up the link to the video and Fred's channel. There's the video, I assume. And one of these is the channel and the other one is the The first link is the channel right here, what we're looking at. So check that out in the chat, grab it. And you see that Pro LC80 running and other things. That's not what she said. Anyway, so this time of year with the snow and all, see, I really want to take out this dude. And I got to get a video of the trimmers truck, but I don't want to run it in this. I'm not running it in the snow, bro. I'm just not. So the big 6, it's perfect for this kind of weather. And I might even take those tires off and put on these other ones I have that I feel like might do better in the snow. But what's on there will work too. So these tires that I have that I was thinking of putting on, these actually come off of a Honcho. They got a tread that's a little bit chunkier than what I've got on there. And these are stock tires, stock foams, stock plastic bead locks. I just don't care if they get wet or full of water the same way. I've got different foams and not brass, but metal, bronze looking bead locks on there. So I don't know if I'll get around to it. The thing is, when you change the tires, you're taking off 6 little lugs to get to the big lug. And I don't know if I wanna. We'll see. That's a big tire, dudes. These foams are really soft, and that's actually really nice. But sometimes if you're side hilling, if they're too soft, they roll over on that edge. And the foams that are on there now, Steady Foam sent them to me, a while ago now. And I like those stiffer foams in there. But they're like BFGs or something. It's not as aggressive lug on those. The tires that I'm thinking about doing for the Unimog are these tires that came on the Jimny. So I have 3 sets of these. Now, our buddy Crowder, I think he's got super swampers on his or something that's actually fairly modern, Dad. He's got some big, what are those? 39s, 42s, 54s. He's got some monster, I think they're super swampers that are on his Unimog. But these surprise me. I've actually run these tires on the FJ40 before. They look cool and they actually work. But this is the tires that came on this dude. And the ride height was about like this, nothing. Because they hadn't swapped the axles. If you flip the springs, you get about like this. But this is what came on there. But I would like to use them for something. And, they're definitely wider than these. These are the same tires that are on that old school Willys Jeep. They're just black. But they actually work. But they're kind of big. Like they're like the same. They're about 475. Like a big scale, like a big RTR size tire. but they actually look okay on the FJ40, but I should just paint the rims like white or something to match the roof. And they would look cool. But I have a handful of these, and I want to use them on something. If they were smaller, they would have been cool on the Travelall. But I'd have to make that Travelall a good deal bigger to work with these. But they're not even close. What's funny is this is the 6-scale Honcho, 6-scale Wrangler, 6-scale Jimny. Go figure on that. You out of here, boss? See you later, dude. Yep, it's about 2 hours. I'm going to. Thanks for coming by. I know not most of you guys need to learn about your battery, but if any of you are curious about seeing how to program through the individual cell voltages, how to change your auto discharge, and how to take a look at internal resistance on your smart batteries, I put out a video last night. Check it out. With a real creepy thumbnail I used AI to make. So check it out, or let it play in the background while you go to sleep. Something. I don't know. Yeah, I was saying earlier, like, I feel like now looking back at it, I could have done that, made that video 8 minutes long, but it was half an hour and I cut it down to like 16 minutes, I think. I'll do better. I might even reshoot that one sometime. But I think for some people, it's no big deal. But for other people, it's going to be like, oh, I'm so glad someone did that. And I'm all right to be that dude. So yeah, if you want to learn a little bit about your smart batteries or your smart charger, I did a video, put it out last night. Check out that here on the channel. If you're doing any shopping, don't forget about me. Click through the link in the description, man, to go where you're going. It always helps. Whether you're getting a 3D printer or you're shopping RC at FMS or Horizon, I appreciate it. But really, keep coming by. That's the deal. You know, Philip, you know how it is, man. You got to make sure you don't repeat yourself too much, but you don't want to cut out good things. I cut out so much anecdotal information that helps confirm my point, but is extra. You know, it just depends. It's so hard to kind of think about who am I making. Like, if I'm making this for my buddies, it doesn't matter. I can almost make it long and it's okay. They know me already, so all that talking is not going to be a problem. But if you're new and I'm just trying to make a thing that is helpful, adds value, then I still want people to get to know me, but I don't want to kill them with it. So I try to keep it short. But I mean, honestly, it's mostly been lives lately. So I'm out of the rhythm for sure on videos. But yeah, I feel like and there's a lot of things that I've wanted to do that I knew would be good videos, but I've done it in the live stream. And that's never, there's too much to look through to figure it out. So that's not usually good. You got to watch 3 hours for 10 minutes that you want. So I think it makes sense to do stuff like how to reverse thrust and how to program things that we might think are simple. Apparently, a lot of people have a hard time with safe, and I think learning the new radio is even different. I have my NX10. I updated to the brand new stuff today, and in the channel assign screen is way different than it was on even the last update. The last update, the channel assign screen still looked like what we're used to. But now if you go to a channel assign on your modern update, NX10, NX8, NX whatever, probably even the IX stuff, you go into channel assign now, instead of set up flight modes, I like aux2B channel 7. Bro, it's aux7 channel 7. There's no aux2. There's no aux like 1 through 6. It seems. So it's a little bit weird. I'm going to play with it so I know how to do it. And I think those are good videos to make, man, because we're just a few of us here in this room, but when you add up all the people doing RC all the time, there's a need for some of this stuff. That's why you'll see guys that don't do any flying or anything fancy, but they'll sit down and buckle down and do tutorials. Absolutely crush it, because they're adding some serious value to the community. So tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you told them. I think I did twice, probably. Love y'all. Thanks so much for coming by. Check me out. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Been making it since 2012. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one. If we can get out Saturday, we'll film something. So maybe SX6s, who knows? We'll see you next time. Check out Jeff tomorrow. Check out your buddies in the meantime. Check out your buddies on the weekend. Urban RC is probably still on. I'm going to pop on over there and say hey. See if they're cutting up or not. And we'll see you in the next one. We're out here in 5. Hanger Rats forever. We'll 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Boom. Bye, says Fred. Appreciate you guys. Later.